This amazing plant saves countless lives every year, but it is dangerous. We are talking, of course, about the foxglove. So the reason for it being dangerous and the reason it being helpful is both the same. It makes this medication here, Digoxin, you might know it as Eltroxin, comes in 62.5 micrograms, 125 and 250, all micrograms. Okay, so in case you didn't know, it takes 1,000 micrograms to make a milligram, it takes 1,000 milligrams to make a gram, and so on and so forth. All of the packaging says POM on it, meaning it's a pharmacy-only medication, so it can't be bought over the counter. It's used for tachycardia, which is an irregular heartbeat. So if people have too much of a fast heartbeat, then they will take this and it will slow down their heart rate. So slowing down the patient's heart rate will decrease the likelihood of them having a stroke or heart failure. So it is actually a really, really useful medication and it is saving lives. So that's the benefits, but it would actually only take about 2 grams of these fresh leaves to actually kill an adult human. To give you an idea of the weight, this little 5p coin is 3.29 grams, so 2 grams would be not much weight at all. Obviously you're not going to eat this plant willingly, and if you did taste it, it would taste disgusting. But there was a guy in Ireland not so long ago, and you can Google him if you want to. He made a smoothie out of plants that he found in the garden, and he ended up in hospital, nearly died, and he had 10 days of hell, abdominal pains, sickness, nausea, all these types of symptoms. It would just be a nasty, nasty way to go. But thankfully the story did have a happy ending and he did survive, so that was lucky. But notice now that the plant is a little bit different from when you first seen the intro to the clip. I've actually waited a couple of weeks to show you this part. Now this is when the plant's pretty much at its most potent, okay, because just before it seeds, then it has extra toxins running through it, okay. The upper part of the plant is the most dangerous. The upper leaves, the stems, and of course these little buds that are just about ready to seed. And speaking of seeding, this plant is extremely good at it. At some point or another, you pretty much are guaranteed to have this in your garden at some point. You'll see little plants cropping up here and there. So if you do own this plant or want to own this plant, then of course it's safe to do so as long as you keep children and animals away from it. But at some stage or another, you're going to have to do a little bit of weeding, because it does walk that fine line between being a desirable plant and being a weed, because it's so good at seeding. Now, bear in mind that your skin is an organ, so it is absorbent, so you must wear gloves when handling it. Of course, wash your hands after every gardening session, which I'm sure you already do. Well, that'll about do us for today, folks. I hope you learned something about the foxglove. If you did, let me know in the comments below. I am a fan of the comments, and I'll try and squeeze in another video or two about plants that are interesting or dangerous or even useful before the end of the season. So until next time, folks, ciao for now.